being only small groups of people that think with their own minds and feel with their own heart. The majority of the people only walk and walk and not think so much about the consequences of their actions. Not think actually a lot. Not thinking about what their actions maybe can do in the long run. They don't think about the butterfly effects. Not can think, what can my choices affect in the future? What can things would I choose affect somebody else? There being small groups that think with their own minds and feel with their own hearts. Most humans claim that they're being intelligent. Not show it, but they're told it. Most people say that they're being kind. And nothing show it, but only say it. Walk a path, say this, do this. With a lot of double standards. I posted in the dog food festival. And then go to McDonald's, Burger King, pay other sociopaths to kill other animals. That being at least as smart as the dogs and cats. And then it's been okay? No, it don't been okay. Because it matters over the victims. No matter if the victims being dogs, cats, pigs, turkeys, humans, mental retarded humans. No matter how the victim be, the oppressed group be, no single one want to be oppressed, torment, commodified, turned into an object. No, it's not what I want. They want to live the life the way they want to live it. Let anybody have to live by the rules of humans, because that's how humans can understand the world. And that's the way humans think the world have to be lived, because that is the way that I can understand it. That's also the way. Also with all schools want to teach you, society wants to teach you, go to walk this path, not to walk that path, because that path is so strange and we don't know it, or something like that. Feel or think with your own mind and feel with your own hearts. Majority walks the path that the media wants that they walk. Not thinking about the choices the consumer makes. Not thinking about what it can do in the future. Not look how it affects the lives of others. The ones that don't live in their country and have not their privileges or rules, or how you want to call it, which the euphemism. Rules be not rules of not anybody have them. Then being privileges. The only thing that you have is a bunch of temporary privileges. If you go to a land where they have not the privileges, you have not the privileges. They can take it away from you. Any 2 seconds, some children starve from starvation. Not because there is too little food on the whole world. No, we can actually feed something like 800 humans with the food that we have at this moment on this planet. According to this study. But that's the reason the word there that they're actually starve is because that people in the first world want to eat hamburgers and cheese and other animal products that cost huge amount of food, huge amount of water and land. Actually, on the same field where you can feed 1 meter, you can feed 12 vegans. So much land will it cost. It costs around something like 2,500 gallons of water. That's the amount of water that it will cost. It costs also around something like 90 pounds of grease and around something like 5.5 feet of acre of rainforest. That's how much land it will cost. Imagine that the whole world become vegan. Did anybody give up their meat veggies? That I realized that they're done being the most important thing on this planet. And if you don't have to eat animal corpses, the things that come out of these animals, feel how think with your own minds and feel with your own hearts. Walk a path that the society wants that they walk. Not breaking away from that invisible bandage that we all seems to have on some society. Some great nationalism. Narcissism in part of the society. Be so proud of the nation. Any miserable fool would have nothing to be proud of. Protect his nation. Protect all his foolish, all his flaws, all his imperfections. In order for us own insecurity. That's something that somebody do without nothing to be proud of. And how say that once? Arthur Schopenhauer. You don't have to be agree with 100% what somebody say. I think I be not 100%. With the views of this man on this part. But I have a lot of great ideas. Or not so great ideas, but realistic ideas. Actually. What make it justice actually? What make it justice? All the double standards. Why it is not legal to kill and abuse humans? It is totally normal and acceptable to kill animals for hunting or for something like that. Even humans overpopulate without control, and if we put that away and put it the other way around, it is actually the law supported when you shoot than deer and other animals. Is it not more logical that we then also can sometimes justify if there being too much humans in society to kill humans? No, and therefore you don't have to do that, and you have to sterilize some animals so that they don't become an overpopulation. That's the logical thing to do, not hunting. Hunting is for barbarians, phonies and cronies, idiots and criminals. Just like the military. Protecting old men's greedy and selfish and honest get it privileges and belongings. That's what war actually is. Old man's property be protected by young men who kill young children in poor countries. Greedy old men send your young, foolish children to other countries to murder young children. And then they get post-traumatic disorder, shell shock, and all the horrible things that they find themselves in. And then the question is, although one extremely insane thing to me, so extremely insane always to me, why is it not okay when some group do something out of your society wrong, and you make excuses for it, but when being in another society, you put a bomb to it. Where's the logic in that? You how think with their own mind and feel with their own heart. Most humans do what the media told them, not think out of the box, not come to rational conclusions of themselves. The first thing that young people have to learn in this age is to learn to think for yourself and then come to rational conclusions for yourself. If you go by to the habits, what somebody else think about something, and don't figure out this for yourself, you find out that other people let you hate the people that doing the oppression, hate the people that being oppressed, and the animals that being oppressed, and love the victimizers if it suits their agenda. All through have to pass to 3 stages. First, it be mad and ridiculed. Second, it been violently opposed. And finally, it's been accepted as self-evident and nobody questioned it. In the time of the slavery, around something like 100 million Native Americans been murdered by Britain colonists, by conquistadors, by other Western people. Around something like 60 million blacks been murdered. Around something any year, something like 150 billion animals be murdered. In the time of World War II, in the Third Reich, Nazis have murdered something like 6 billion Jews and 5 billion mentally retarded people and other kinds of people. So, what is the biggest ass? In the time of the slavery, also was also euphemisms for murdering black people, because there was also not legal to call that murder. In the time of the Nazis, they say that they don't murder Jews. They say that they euphemize the Jews. Victimizers use always euphemisms to confuse the people and accept what they want. When the people that in power want to create an image to justify something that is bad, they use the press. They use the press to create a humanitarian image for the devil, and they use the press to create a devil image for humanitarian. That's the press. If you're not being careful, they let you hate with the newspaper the people that's fighting for the liberation, and let you love the people that are doing the oppression. You how think with your own minds and feel with your own hearts. The Animal Liberation Front being not terrorists. In the 14th year of no human being ever injured by one animal liberation movement action. We have to stop with believing the lies that be spread by the corporations that abuse animals for a living. Elf activists be not terrorists. How murder and torture animals for a living be terrorists. Elf activists be not criminals. People that torturing and grossly profit from the torturing of animals being criminals. If the elf break laws and destroy the property of vivisectionists and slaughterhouse workers and farmers, then there be just as the Allied forces that break forever and destroy the gas chambers of Buchenhaus and Auschwitz, and the slave liberationists that destroy the property of the white slave owners, the white Christian cracker slave owners. If the elf break laws, then so the Black Panthers have done. And actually also, there's a quote from Martin Luther King. It is a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. If the elf if the unwise elf liberation member of once have said, if we been trespassing, then so are the Allied forces that break down the cage of Birkenhaus and Auschwitz. If we been thieves, then we being just as the slave liberations that freed the slave from the West. If we be vandals, and so are being the Allied forces who break forever down the gas chambers of Buchenhaus and Auschwitz. So how being the real victims, and how we being the real terrorists. If you think that we will ever find a cure for cancer by torturing monkeys in unscientific vivisection experiments, you will absolutely, grossly delusional. It's not about the 99% of the DNA that matches by humans. It is about the 1% what make all the experiments totally a waste of the space and a waste of the experiments. You don't can do you don't will find any cure for any disease that you don't can find more cheaper and more and quicker if we use directly criminals like the vivisectionists or rapists or murderers or pedophiles or something like that. I just say, why always protecting victimizers instead of victims? Something that is always so unpleasant for me. Why victimizers think always that they're being more special than the victims? Which kind of insane sociopath wants to protect a mass murderer? Which kind of insane psychopath wants to protect a child molester? Which kind of crazy freak, insane freak, wants to protect victims instead of victimizers instead of victims? I choose always to side the victim in any situation. Use your minds. Feel how think with their own minds and live by the feelings of their own heart. If this word has been harsh and controversial to you, maybe it is not about what I say, but maybe it is because you understand what it actually means, but you don't want to accept it. Well, always any form of injustice, any form, have always the past the 3 stages. Why some people go it overnight, but other people will take a little bit longer. But the most important thing is that you become, and that you stop living with your double standards. If it be not necessary, would it been in 99% of this actually awaken humanity. Awaken humanity. Peace begins on the dinner table, by what you eat on a daily basis. You don't can pray for peace and then do hypocritical violent things. That's not how the world works. Good people oppose discrimination by its roots, by speciesism. They don't engage in violent rituals that have been based on psychosis, on misconceptions, lies and propaganda. Good people don't follow blindly what they're being told. They think actually about it. Boundless compassion to any living being is the only guarantee of great moral conduct. How being full with this will, with absolute certainty, not injure somebody else. Animals be not food. Just on the same way that women be not punching bags and rape toys for disgusting men. Just like black people don't be slaves only for the service of the white man. All living beings have their own reason for existence, and that's not to serve somebody else without their will. Awaken, awaken. Go vegan. There is no excuse for causing the least amount of harm possible on this planet. Make amends and move forward.